I don't know if I'm still a polyglot or not, but I like languages and would love to attend this time or the next. If you can, I really recommend it. Never worry about whether you're a polyglot. I don't know why people keep worrying about that. It is not a factor. They're not going to test you. It's not the hypia where they have to test if you can actually speak the language. And also, even if it's hypia, they're not really that strict. Anyway, it's for people who love languages, and if you do, you can afford it. If you can afford it, please do go. But like, the prices are going up now, so if you are thinking of doing it, register by the 7th of May, because it's gonna go up even more afterwards. And so like, I've just signed up. It's weird. Usually my name is like way on the top of the list, but now it's like on the bottom because I signed up like way too late compared to everyone I know. And I've got lots of friends going, like even friends who don't usually go. So I'm excited. I can also talk to you about my name tag, because how the Polyglot Gathering works is you used to go there and they give you a name tag, a badge, and then you'd put your languages on there. Sometimes you'd write, I think, no. That's at the Polyglot Conference, which is a different event, you would write your languages. But at the gathering, you used to have stickers of different languages that you put on your badge. But a few years back, they changed how it worked. So now you tell them on the online form what languages you speak, which actually you can change until quite late. And then they would print it for you. So this was mine last year. I'm actually pretty proud of how I did this. Like, people usually put either where they're from or where they live, whichever they identify as. But for me, I think my immigrant experience is quite core to me, quite crucial. So I wanted to emphasize that that is me. Where am I from? From Hong Kong and moved to the UK. I feel like that's pretty representative. My friend Samuel's going and he says it has Scotland on it. I'm like, I would have England on it, but to be honest, as I said earlier, I identify first, like in terms of different parts of the UK, okay? I identify most with Manchester, and then with the UK, and then with England. I just don't feel English, And I mean, that partly probably has something to do with the fact that I'm so into like the Welsh community, but I don't live in Wales, so I can't say that. If I do move, then I'm gonna put like Hong Kong to Wales, but the fact is I'm not living there. And then my languages, this is from last year, by the way. So I have Cantonese. As I've said in a very controversial YouTube short, I don't think I will ever consider myself as natively bilingual. Got to qualify that. So I will keep English on the C, and then I've moved Welsh upwards this time. I've taken out Mandarin, and then I've moved BSL a bit. I mean, it's the same level. I didn't move it up a level, but I moved it to the front of the level. And then I kind of left these out because I don't feel like... I mean, last year at this time, I was learning some Armenian. I barely remember any Armenian. And then my Hebrew is also really rusty. So I'm quite strict on myself, because I know a lot of people at the Polyglot Gathering who basically fill out this entire row. Because like in that, I guess, culture, people basically use A to mean I'm interested in this language. So some people just put 20 languages on A because they want to learn it or they know a few phrases. It's like a conversation opener. But for me, in the B and C levels, I'm quite strict on myself. So I want to make sure I actually speak those languages if I put them on B. Like even Swedish is quite, as I've established before, I struggle to speak Swedish because my brain keeps confusing it with Welsh. But on A, I'm a bit more lenient on myself, but I also don't want to put a million languages on there that I literally don't speak at all. So I put Uyghur on there this year. Last year, I think last year, this time last year, I wanted to learn both Uyghur and Armenian. And then I started with Armenian first, but then I sort of dropped it afterwards. And currently I've been learning Uyghur. I can't speak it, to be honest. I haven't actually taken any speaking lessons, so I can't even string a sentence together, but I understand some of it. And then eventually I'll be able to speak it, maybe. Maybe by the time I go there, which is in a month's time, I'll be able to speak some Uyghur. I don't even know how to say I am something. I know how to say in Turkish, but not in Uyghur. And then I added Scottish Gaelic because I actually, having almost finished Duolingo in Scottish Gaelic, I can actually kind of make sentences. Uh, I will make a video about this eventually, but my idea is to just use Duolingo. But then also like, so I didn't use any other sources for input, but as I'm doing my Duolingo, I started making sentences on my own. I've translated memes into Gaelic. And then by doing that, I'm actually able to say stuff in Gaelic. So I put it on A, and then I tacked on a Hong Kong Sign Language at the end because I was like, first of all, Hong Kong represent. And for me, it's more like what I said earlier. It's more like a language that I would like to learn rather than I have learnt some. But also, I've kind of learnt a bit of it. I have from just people around me here in Manchester. I know a lot of Hong Kong deaf people in Manchester. So I put it there for the lols. That's my language list now. That's my current state as a polyglot. I tend to be quite harsh on myself in this regard. So you never see me like fill out the badge with 50 different languages. or claim to speak them and then get like investigated or something. I also really don't want to put a flag of a language I'm interested in but have not studied. I don't know. I wouldn't be totally against it. It's a common thing to do. As I always say at the polyglot gathering, everyone sort of exaggerates a bit. So like if you happen to want to investigate someone's claims in what languages they speak, I wouldn't use the polyglot gathering badge as a list of claims because almost everyone exaggerates there. And I'm not totally against it. It's fine. It's a conversation opener, as I say. Also, by the way, there is an option of putting no flag. So like my friend Samuel really hates flags for languages. Like print. I mean, I don't disagree, but also aesthetically I like them. So he just doesn't put any flags on them. And what some people have done, by the way, for example, is most people have flags, but then some Russian speakers would just have a blank flag for Russian, and then they would like draw the white, blue, white Russian flag on it, like the Free Russia flag. And same for Belarusian. So some people would have a blank Belarusian flag and then draw the red stripe on it. Do I have it the right way? Is it? Yeah. And then people asked if I could, just jokingly, they asked if I could put a Palestinian flag for Hebrew, and that's not an option unless I draw it myself. So either you get the country flag or no flag. You can choose between the two. And by the way, I decided to go for an England flag this year instead of a British flag for English because it's kind of funny. It's probably because like I've moved Welsh from here all the way up to here next to English, and I thought, hey, if I'm contrasting Welsh and English, might as well like use the Welsh and English flags. Because that's for example, when I make a reel about comparing languages, if I want to refer to Welsh and English in the same reel, I would use the English flag because the British flag would, in theory, include Welsh as well. So it's the same logic. So I was like, oh, I could try using the English flag for English, and that's an option that they give you. So that will be interesting. It is just we've just passed St. George's Day, and it's a pretty contentious thing, but I kind of like that, and also it is kind of sending the subtle statement that English is a foreign language in Wales, and also Scotland, I guess. So I thought that would be interesting. Gaelic memes sound like ancient Celtic tribes who time traveled. I'm not too strict with myself. I only count myself knowing them when I can enter the lowest language exam and pass it. Fair. I mean, everyone has a different understanding of language levels. Like, I made a video all about that, and I feel like lots of people misunderstand what language levels are, but I won't repeat myself. I have said that everything I have to say already. By the way, I was going to say that earlier, if anyone wants to help me go to the gathering, that's how you do it. This is, by the way, this 150. That's the fee for the gathering. No, it starts at like 160 euros, but then it goes up the later you apply, and by now it's at 220 euros. But thankfully, I'm giving a talk, so I get a 60 euro speaker discount. So hence a 150 pounds. If honestly, if they cancelled my talk, I would just not go, because I don't want to pay over 200 euros for this event.